how to set goals and how to achieve them. I would like to start with one thing before I tell you any further details. Napoleon Hill says about goals, they are dreams with due dates. So if you ever wonder in the first place how to set goals or which goals should I have, think of your dreams. What dreams have you had in your life? How many things you would like to achieve in your lives? What are the things that really speak to you, make you happy, sing to your heart, get to the string of your heart and make you really jump in your place? Those are your dreams. These are the things that you've been wanting to do for a long time, probably since childhood, probably since teenage years, probably just last week. It doesn't matter how long. What matters is you have that dream, and if you can dream it, you can make it happen. Now, if your dreams are actually your goals, except that you need to have due dates, what does that mean? Well, to set goals in the first place, as we just talked about it now, look at your dreams and look at where you like to be. Then think to yourself, which one of these dreams would you like to accomplish first? Which one of them is way more important to you than any other one? And if you still have a challenge with that, answer this question, please. If everything was perfect in life, what dream would you like to have accomplished first? And if that question does not answer it for you, try this question. If you can do nothing in life but one thing, just one thing, if you can accomplish nothing in life but one thing, we'll give you all the power, we'll give you all the resources, but you can accomplish only one thing, what would that be? That tells you what your first goal or what your biggest dream is and what you'd like to achieve. That becomes your first goal. Now, how to achieve that goal? Perfect. One of the many methods used for achieving goals, and I'm going to talk to you about what is out there and is very well known, then I will tell you about what I have been talking about for many sessions and what I talked about in my published book, 7 Lessons to Create Reality and Live Your Destiny. I will tell you about that system, and I will tell you how it has been working for all of my clients 100% successfully. But what is out there and what is known, which is also a powerful system, is the SMART goal setting system. SMART is not one word, is the acronym actually of few things. So SMART, S-M-A-R-T. S is for specific, M is measurable, A is attainable, R is relevant, and T is timed. So what do we mean by having SMART goals? And you probably heard people talking about set SMART goals, and they probably talk to you about these acronyms, but how do you really get them implemented in your life? Regardless if you're an athlete, if you are an executive, a leader, an entrepreneur, a business owner, there's no goal that you have achieved so far that did not go through this system or the other system that I will talk to you about later, which is the BMBS system, Breakthrough Middle Range Baby System Goal. The specific is to have a very specific and crystal clear goal. What does this mean? This means the way you write your goal is understandable to anyone in the world that speaks, of course, your language. So if you write your goal in English, or if you write it in Arabic, or if you write it in French, or you write it in Hebrew, or you write it in Japanese or Chinese, or any language that a person can understand it, the way they read it, they are able to understand it from the first read. It's extremely clear that no one has a challenge to understand. As an example, I like to weigh 120 pounds. There's no discrepancy there. There's no second guess. There's no doubt. You like for your weight to be 120 pounds. So it needs to be specific, very specific. I like to have a Ferrari that is red and it has 4 rims that are, shiny green, whatever that goal is. It needs to be very, very specific. Why does it need to be very specific? Because that's how your brain will function looking for it. The brain is a goal-seeking organism. Also, the brain is very specific. If the brain doesn't know exactly what you're looking for, the brain will not find it and will not lead you to it. Think of the example, and you've probably heard of this. If you recently bought a car, let's say for me, a couple years ago I bought a Volvo, and the time when I was testing the Volvo or thinking about buying it for that week, I saw more Volvos in my life than I've ever seen. I didn't know why that was, but the simple matter is my brain knew my specific goal. I was going to buy a Volvo within a week. So anytime my brain saw a Volvo, it alerted me. There's a Volvo, looks like the one you're going to buy, or probably looks better than the one that you were looking to buy, or worse than the one you're looking to buy. It even led me to the point that when I stopped at a traffic light driving my old car, and there was a Volvo right next to me, I actually rolled down the window and I felt enough courage to ask the driver next to me, how does your Volvo drive? Do you recommend that I get a Volvo because I'm thinking of buying one? That's how powerful your brain will be when you have a specific goal. So that's the step number 1 of the SMART goal. Step number 2 is to be measurable. So it needs to be specific and measurable. What's in it? For example, we talked about the red Ferrari. So it's Ferrari, it's a car, Ferrari, but you want it to be red. We also talked about the previous example, you wanted to lose weight, or you wanted to weigh 120 pounds. So it needs to be measurable. Measurable meaning to avoid any vague or ambiguous words such as beautiful, big, relevant, fantastic, huge. None of those words are measurable. What is beautiful to me may not be beautiful to you. What is smart to me may not be smart to you. What is relevant to me may not be relevant to you. But when I say this is red, you would see it red, unless one of us has a color recognition challenge. But when we say this is red, this is red. When we get on the scale and we'll look at 120 pounds, is it 120 pounds? It's not 121, it's not 119. So it is measurable. So make your goal specific and measurable to know exactly if you achieved it or you have not achieved it. Step number 3 of the SMART goal setting is attainable. What we mean by attainable, and this is very tricky, and actually it will be corrected with the next step, but this is what we mean by attainable. It is something that actually is possible in your lifetime. What does that mean? Is it possible that for someone to be 85 and they want to be an astronaut and go to the moon tomorrow? Is that attainable? Is it attainable for somebody who's 3 years old and want to go and play for Barcelona? Is that attainable? Is it attainable for me to start a business today to make $1 million tomorrow revenue? Is it attainable? That's what it means, attainable. It doesn't mean settling for what you may be able to achieve. No, it means what is feasible in this time frame. Only in this time frame. What is attainable based on the circumstances at this time. It doesn't say to settle for what you have because you can say, okay, that's what's attainable. I cannot do anything else. No. And this is why I said earlier it is corrected by the next step. The next step is relevant. So your goal is relevant, is something that gets you out of your comfort zone, is something that is relevant to your life. And this is what I mean. Let's say I'm a soccer player and I score in every game. I've been doing that for the last couple of years. And I will say my goal is to score in every game. Well, how relevant is that? I've been doing that every game for the last 2 years. So when I say my goal is to score in every game, that's almost what I've been doing. It does not challenge me to go further. However, if I said my challenge or my goal is to score at least 2 goals in every game, is that relevant to me? Is that relevant to the team? Or I score in every game and I help another team member to score in every game. Otherwise, my goal is not complete. So it is relevant to you and it is relevant to somebody else. Relevant means it creates some powerful value to you and to somebody else. And that's what drives and fuels you to get to your goal. That's what relevant means. So you have a specific, measurable, attainable, and relevant goal. The last step of the SMART goal setting is timed. Your goal needs to be timed. And if you remember in the beginning of this episode, we said that Napoleon Hill mentioned goals as being dreams with due dates. A goal with due date has a lot higher chance not to be accomplished. A goal with due date has way more chance and way higher chance to be accomplished. This is what I mean. We go back to the example we said earlier. If I said I would like to weigh 120 pounds and I stop, that doesn't say if I want it to be today or tomorrow, next week, next year, doesn't say anything. And I can keep telling myself, I'm getting there, and I'm getting there, and I probably get there and I probably won't. But if I said I'd like to weigh 120 pounds by December 15th, let's say, December 15th of 2017 at 5 p.m. If anyone read this goal, if anyone read in English, I, Saber, like to weigh 120 pounds by December 15th at 5 p.m. of 2017. Is it possible for anyone to be ambiguous on this? Anyone in the world can show up at my doorsteps and they say, okay, bring the scale and show me what you got. So when I know that, I know exactly where I need to go, I know exactly what I would like to do, and I can specifically track my progress. If today I weigh 140 pounds and I know that I have 6 months to weigh 120 pounds and I have 20 or 25 pounds to work on, I know exactly how to track my progress, and that's why we need to have SMART goals. So it is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timed. This is the very basic structure for creating or for achieving goals, creating them and achieving them. A goal that is created, it needs to be SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timed, and that's how you achieve it. Now, the big part of achieving goals is the system that I already talked about in my published book in 2015, Lessons from the Vault, 7 Practices to Create Reality and Live Your Destiny. And it talks about the BMBS system. And I talked about this system before in other episodes. It is a breakthrough, medium range, and baby goals. So when you take a goal that you would like to achieve, the goal we talked about earlier, I wanted to weigh 120 pounds by December 15th of 2017 at 5 p.m. If you take that specific example, if you can take your breakthrough goal as that, to weigh 120 pounds by that date and by that time. How will you get there is when you use the medium range and the baby goals. What that means is, if I have 6 months until December 15th, then every month, as an example, or every week of every month, I can create a medium range goals. For example, first month I would, instead of weighing 145, I would weigh 144, and the next month I would weigh 141, and the next month I would weigh 136, as an example. And every week of that month, I would say, for this week I will weigh 144 and a half, and the following week 144, and the following week 143 and a half, and so on. And on a daily basis, I will measure myself for what I need to do to achieve that goal. I need to go jogging, I need to watch my food, and I need to get to the weight that I need to get for that day. Those are the baby goals, the victories of every day that will get you closer to the medium range goals that you set for yourself, or I set for myself every week, every month, and that will get you to your breakthrough goal. And believe it or not, I have not had one client so far that followed BMBS and they have not achieved their goals way before their due date. BMBS gets you going immediately, and it gets you on track right away and to achieve your goal even before your due date. So for an athlete or for an executive or leader or business owner, entrepreneur, think of your breakthrough goal. Make it SMART, that is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timed, and follow the BMBS method. Your goal is your breakthrough. Break that goal down to medium range goals, and break the medium range goals, or the distance between each medium range and the next one, to baby goals. Baby goals are baby victories, small victories that you achieve every day or every week that will get you there, and preferably every day. When I work with my clients, I focus on daily achievements. Achievements are about habits. Achieving goals are about habits. More than 95% of what we do in our daily lives are habits. If you have achieved anything, it's because of your habits. If you have not achieved anything, it's because of your habits. There's a saying that Jim Rohn shared with us, and it is one of the sayings I heard a few years ago. It was really, really tough, but I tell you, it really works. And I'm sharing this with you because I learned it myself, and it hurt me, but it really put me on path. I'm not saying that you have to take it, and please, this is not geared toward you at all. It's just to share with you in case you find value in it. He says, if you have not achieved much, that's because you have not become much. It's tough. It's truly tough, and it gets to the root of every person. And it gets you to wake up and look at yourself and take responsibility for everything you do. And you remember from other episodes also, I shared with you that everything we do is up to us. We are ultimately responsible for everything we achieve or we don't achieve. As a matter of fact, you probably got tired of me by now telling you that you control only two things: yourself and the moment. Nothing else in life you can control, nothing else in life you can change, nothing else in life you can impact before you impact yourself, before you change yourself, before you take care of yourself and you take care of the moment.